Practical Apologetics for a Christian Way of Life. A brief history of natural theology. Suppose someone said to you that thinking there are good arguments for God is so medieval. How would you respond? You might like to press pause on the video here to have a ponder. Philosopher Keith Yandell wrote that natural theology is the attempt to provide good reasons for thinking that God exists. The project of natural theology goes back at least as far as the ancient Greeks. Natural theology flourished within medieval scholastic philosophy. The most famous example is Thomas Aquinas' summary of 5 ways to argue for God in his 13th century textbook, Summa Theologica, that is, Summary of Theology. In the Enlightenment era, natural theology was championed by scholars like René Descartes, John Locke, Isaac Newton, William Paley, and Thomas Reid, but questioned by scholars like David Hume and Immanuel Kant. Natural philosophy became unfashionable between the early 19th and mid-20th centuries. Here's a Time magazine cover from April 1966, asking, "Is God dead?" But the embers of natural theology were kept glowing by Catholic philosophers like F.C. Copleston, Jacques Maritain, and Etienne Gilson, and by Protestant philosophers like A.E. Taylor, F.R. Tennant, and C.S. Lewis. Scientific discoveries beginning in the 1950s revealed complex information processing systems and intricate molecular machinery in cells, reviving discussions about design in biology. And a series of scientific discoveries, culminating in the 1960s, established the Big Bang theory in cosmology, sidelining the ancient pagan belief that the cosmos exists eternally and rejuvenating discussion of cosmological arguments. Alongside Big Bang cosmology, scientists uncovered a life-permitting cosmic fine-tuning that invited discussion of design within cosmology. Philosophical thinking about God became fashionable again, due largely to the 1967 publication of Alvin Plantinga's book, God and Other Minds. By 1969, it was clear that news of God's death was greatly exaggerated. Here's a Time magazine cover from December 1969, asking, "Is God coming back to life?" Plantinga added momentum to the renaissance of natural theology with his 1974 book, The Nature of Necessity, in which he used modal logic to lay out a logically valid version of the ontological argument for God. So, as philosopher James Brent writes, natural theology today is practiced with a degree of diversity and confidence unprecedented since the late Middle Ages. Think back to that person who stated that thinking there are good arguments for God is so medieval. How would you respond now?